All of you never knew that IPOB and this Biafra movement was for your liberation. Some of you saw maybe the oil and gas from Biafra land. If they go now, we'll have access to oil and gas. In the process of having your eyes fixated on oil and gas, your forest is gone. Do you understand it? Every Yoruba person supporting Fulani, you are setting up yourself to become like the Hausa people. Remember when Hausa was supporting Fulani? We are Hausa Fulani. We are Hausa Fulani. Where are the Hausa people today? I ask you. Where are those Hausa people today? Do you see them anymore? They're saying we are Hausa Fulani. We are Hausa Fulani. Do you see them again today? Do you see them? I'm asking you. No, because Fulani have completely overwhelmed them. It's called emasculation. Completely emasculated them. Look at what they're doing in the East. In the East, they come to the East, I will tell you, oh, you want to be the president or vice? Yeah. They say, give us land for Ruga. They give them land. As soldiers of Kadu did that Lord Banta. They've taken it over in forever and ever. Give us land in your state. Hope of them prove to us that you are stood. Give us land in Olo. Hope of them will give them land in Olo. We can go and kill people in Obibo. We can kill for them. How many Fulani governors are prepared to kill bandits? I didn't say normal people. I'm talking about armed, dangerous bandits. How many Fulani governors? Go and read your newspapers, you will see it there. Fulani governors are negotiating with them, giving them arms, giving them vehicles, making sure that their life is no longer in misery. But see, they come down to the south. They tell you, give us land for Ruga. Go and kill your people to prove to us that you're one Nigerian. That was why Obioso was talking rubbish. Was talking, was it yesterday or 2 days ago? Supported by the BBC. The problem you people have in Nigeria is this. Your journalists, you see people, Punch newspaper, Tribune, Vanguard, and Nation, they are your second worst enemies. I'm telling you the truth. They can never, ever be objective in their reportage. Never, ever, ever. That's why all of you are suffering. But you don't know it. They were the same people used to scuttle the NSAS protest. Of course, some of you went about looking for Indomie in warehouses. Typical black people. Any revolution that is coming now, you must stand very firm. They'll say, oh, you're Igbo. Oh, you're Yoruba. Oh, you are from Europe. Don't join them. It's our turn in 2023. If you do this, you will scuttle our chances of becoming the president in 2023. Ask yourself, all of them that have been president from time immemorial, what benefit has it brought to you as a human being? Absolutely nothing. So you have nothing to lose. Absolutely nothing to lose. You look at them now, how they have now descended on Yoruba people, asking them to concede, give us your forest, we must graze, we must do this, we must do that. And slowly before your eyes, they are giving in, they are capitulating, they are allowing them to go, oh, if you don't give it to us, so Tinubu will not be president in 2023. Tinubu won't be the president. That's what I'm saying to you. And foolishly you will agree and hand over your land to them. And once they take your land over from you, look at Hausa. Because there is a saying where we come from. If you want to know what your life is going to become in the future, look at Hausa people. If you want to understand or appreciate, I will say, the life that you are about to bequeath to your children and grandchildren, look at Hausa people. Is there any Hausa governor today? Is there any Hausa emir? Is their land though? Katsina is Hausa land. Kanu is Hausa land. Sokoto is Hausa land. The Hausa people own it, indigenous to those areas. I'm asking you this question. Is there any Hausa man who is an emir in the north? The answer is no. Something is going to happen to you. If you don't rise up now to break, I'm not even asking people to break this, you demand for what rightfully belongs to you, your freedom. The freedom to decide. The freedom to write a constitution if you prefer. The freedom to live with whoever you want to live with. That is what we're asking for. But most people misunderstood what we are saying. And today, almost everything we have said about the zoo has come to pass. Everything we have told you, everything I told you has come to pass, hasn't it? Everything. And some people are still questioning and arguing. They said, Fulani will resist by all means necessary, including armed resistance, any attempt to forcefully eject them from the forest. Yoruba, you must ask yourself this question. When we were pursuing them from a Boeing, why didn't they say something about ESN on Nnamdi Kanu? Why? Have you asked yourself that question? Because they know we are prepared to die to defend our land. They understand that very well. That is the only language the Fulani understand. You cannot say to Fulani, oh, let us have a Fulani president, and after that all will be well. Never, ever, ever. They will continue to expand. They will continue to identify idiots in your midst, traitors, saboteurs in your midst. They will promise them heaven and earth. They will give them anything they ask for in order to ensure that they get into you, they subjugate you. Look at Yoruba and the Ilorin. Yoruba, how did you lose a Ilorin? You lost a Ilorin because somebody thought or felt that by aligning himself with what he felt was a superior Fulani force, he can defeat his own people. Afonja, what happened? As a result of that miscalculation, the great Yoruba race lost a Ilorin to Fulani Caliphate. That is why in a Ilorin you have an emir of a Ilorin, not an Oba of a Ilorin, answerable to Sokoto. That is where Lai Muhammad comes from. You can see them. Sokoto slaves in Yoruba land. When I say that, it's not religion. It has nothing to do with religion. It has everything to do with the mentality of a conquered people. Now they have left the Ilorin, having taken a Ilorin and taken it to Sokoto. They now want to come into Oyo. They want to come into Ondo. Once they take over all those places, it's over for the Yoruba race. Over for you. No, never again will anybody rise a man of honor or integrity in Yoruba land. Never ever. It will only be their stooge. Look at what's happening in the East. Only Fulani stooges can now emerge in the East. It took them very many years, nearly 50 years, to accomplish this very simple task of making sure that everybody, be it Ohanese, be it Pandef, be it governor, anybody you're bringing out must come to the north to swear allegiance to the caliphate. All of them, ban on. Is there any political godfather in the East? There is none. They all go to the north to go and swear allegiance to the Janjaweed. That is why our life is in a mess. That is why they can put someone like Obiozo and make him the Ohanese President General. In front of our eyes, in front of Korokoro. And what did they bribe? They gave money to BBC. They gave money to all Zoo newspapers. They started to trumpet Obiozo, Apex Group, Apex. You saw them holding their meeting under a canopy. A ton without shame. A whole Ohanese. Under sand, ton canopy. Maybe you saw it disgraceful and shameful. Talking rubbish. The man looks like a Janjaweed anyway. Talking nonsense. These are people they have prepared for you to sell you down the drain. By the time the Fulanis are done with you, believe you me, if you don't rise up now to fight for your freedom, by the time Fulanis are done with you, you'll be more useless than a Hausa peasant doing Babi Allah somewhere in Zaria. That is the future that awaits you. Now, our people must understand this very clearly, especially my Yoruba brothers and sisters. It is about time you stop supporting evil. That evil is in Asorok. That evil is a gang of reprobates calling themselves presidency. The more you keep on supporting evil in the zoo, the more your land will be taken from you. The more your daughters will be raped and abducted, the more your sons will be slaughtered in cold blood. And under one Nigeria, there is nothing you can do about it. Absolutely nothing.
Indigenous people of Biafra, we are IPOB under one central command, under one leadership, under one directorate, under one coordination all over the world. There is only one indigenous people of Biafra. We are aware now. They want to establish want to deceive you, they want to cheat you. Some idiots may answer IPOB, but you must understand they're not one of us. It is the same thing as Boko Haram wearing police and army uniform to go and kill people. These people are not part of us and can never ever be. How will say the products of APC? These are evil men and little boys. We must counter them wherever we see them. They are not IPOB. We have no government. The government of the indigenous people of Biafra is the indigenous people of Biafra. So when the time comes, Biafrans will vote and decide who will govern them. Until then, we are not a government. We are servants of the people, as we shall continually demonstrate. Allow me to repeat what I said before. We are not a government, I tell you. I must warn and caution you. We are the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. There is no government, there is no addition. Of course, we have an embassy, that is true. That embassy is not an organization. We don't run any other website apart from ipob.org. We don't have any other radio station on this earth apart from Radio Biafra. I'm aware that Awasa set up with APC, they set up 1 or 2 radio stations to answer our name as part of their subterfuge and ocean provocateur. But they will not prevail, they will not succeed, they cannot survive the heat because we are ordained, baptized in this very fire of truth and honesty. That is why we preach it without compromise. There is no other way to do it. We are the children of light. That is why we have come. Or should I say, that is why Chukukika Biama determined that we should come. That is why this evening, as always, we must preach his gospel. No particular. We must preach it to the fullest. Only those who are blessed can partake or participate. Only those that seek knowledge. Only those that seek the light. Only those that seek the truth. The seekers of wisdom, the seekers of knowledge are welcome to partake and participate. Or else you are a non-entity. Here we assemble the children of the Most High.
Out something astonishing about the origin of Nigeria that shocked the hell out of me. Nigeria was never meant to be a country. It was something else entirely. In this video, I'm going to tell you what I discovered. Oh, and I want to acknowledge Burna Boy for bringing my attention to this in his song Another Story on his album African Giant. Thank you for inspiring this video, and all of you let Burna Boy know that he got to me, and now I'm sharing this information with you. The creation of Nigeria was never about democracy, never about Christianity. It was about money, business, and profit. None of it for us. Pay attention. The area now known as Nigeria was called the Slave Coast up to 1870. This was the point at which the British had stopped slave trading and moved on to palm oil as their primary commodity out of Nigeria. One of the main suppliers of palm oil was the Benin Kingdom, and you have to watch my video on one of the greatest African kings most of you have never heard of, Oba Ovoranwen. This is an important story for me personally because I'm from that region, so they are my people, and his fight with the British Empire over palm oil is one of the greatest stories of African colonial history. Anyway, everyone wanted palm oil, and especially the British. A man called George Goldie set up the United African Company in 1879, which was then changed to the National African Company. He structured the palm oil business in the Niger Delta region, and by 1884 he had a monopoly that the British could exploit. So in 1886, Goldie violated the agreement he had made with the chiefs and moved his operations into River Niger and Benue. The company was also renamed to Royal Niger Company. Goldie tricked the chiefs into signing unfair trade deals, giving Goldie exclusive rights to export palm oil instead of what the chiefs thought would be free trade. These contracts were written in English, a language we didn't understand, and based on laws that were not our own. This is similar to the land negotiations done with Native Americans in what is now known as the United States of America, where deals were done via contracts in English with laws that had nothing to do with the Native Americans. There was a meeting called the Berlin Conference in 1884 to 1885, set up by Germany's first Chancellor, Otto von Bismarck. This was where colonial powers discussed how to carve up Africa and structure trade across the pieces of our continent they would take. We were not part of these conversations. The best way to think of this is like the NBA draft. Guys were out there making bids between lunch breaks and spa sessions. At this conference, the Kingdom of Opobo was given to Britain. When King Jaja of Opobo tried to export his own palm oil, he was accused of obstructing commerce and then exiled. How crazy is that? And on his way home in 1891, he was poisoned with a cup of tea. Guys, I couldn't make this stuff up. The Jaja of Opobo story made other chiefs wary of their deals with the British. King Koko of Nembe Brass was one of them. He tried to take down the Royal Niger Company and attacked the company headquarters in Akassa, Bayelsa on January 29, 1895. King Koko captured 60 white men and lost 40 of his own soldiers. He used the 60 hostages to demand he be allowed free trade, the agreement he believed he had with the British company. They refused and he killed 40 of his hostages. The British Royal Navy retaliated by leveling the city of Brass completely on February 20th, 1895. King Koko went into exile and the British not only took control of the palm oil he once had, but also fined the people of his kingdom £500, as well as confiscating their weapons. Tragically, King Koko committed suicide in exile in 1898, after being branded an outlaw by the British company that had taken his kingdom, palm oil, and reputation. The Royal Niger Company sold its territory to the British government for £865,000 in the late 1800s. This territory was known as Nigeria. In 1914, the Southern Protectorate and Northern Protectorate was combined by Lord Lugard, and like that, the Royal Niger Company was rebranded as a country which would gain independence on October 1st, 1960. And Lugard is a street in Nigeria that still exists today. The Royal Niger Company changed its name to the Niger Company Limited, and it was then acquired by Unilever. Unilever still operates in Nigeria to this day. And that, my brothers and sisters, is how Nigeria came to be. We have a long way to go to fix the country, but we won't ever have a hope and a solution to our problems if we don't know how they started. What I told you in this video is just a small part of the foundations that led to unrest, civil war, economic instability, and so forth. Remember, it's not about asking anyone else to fix this, or even wasting time blaming those we know caused and perpetuated it. This is about knowing our history. Nigeria was never a country we created. It was a company designed by colonizers for profit, and a lot of the infrastructure put in place for that siphoning of resources out of our land is still very much in place today. Crude oil simply replaced palm oil, and soon lithium may replace crude oil. Honestly, I feel angry not just for what happened to my ancestors, but for the fact that I wasn't taught about this in school in Nigeria, and that our children are not being taught about these things now. Every Nigerian should know everything about who we are and what we are up against. If you would like to support my work, you can become an official supporter from
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, great and wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world. I greet you and according to your time zone. While you are joining us, share this video, invite others to join. We have a very quick one. A very quick one. share the video, invite others to join. Of course, we put up those videos just for you to hear it from other channels, for you to be able to hear this history from other channels. Let it not be as if it is always IPOB led by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that will always tell you about this historic fact about Nigeria, that it is not created for as a country. It is a place created for profit. Nigeria is somebody's company, somebody's office. And that is the reason why we can never get it right. Because we are not running a nation, we are running a company. Limited liability company. That's what we are running here. And British is they are the executive director, while those they select to be your leaders they become the management, the managers of this company called Nigeria. So it is very, very important. Of course, you see what is going on now here and there across Nigeria. You can see what is going on. You can see exactly the result of the 2023 election or selection that took place. The fire is now burning. Everywhere is now feeling it. It is no longer about this person say, that person say. It is about reality now. When you look around you, you will see that everywhere is shaking, because the reality of what we've been talking about, it is all coming to play right now, and nobody is going to escape it, because it is very, very important you make a hair while the sun still shines. I am here this evening, this morning, this afternoon to make you understand, first of all, that the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is something, a task that must be done, and we are not asking anybody to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Rather, we are asking them to obey their court order, because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been vindicated by the court of Nigeria. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been released, acquitted of all the charges laid against him by Nigeria. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a free man. Technically, he is a free man, but physically, he is still placed in a solitary confinement. And Nigeria and all these, they are stakeholders of this company called Nigeria, British company, especially the Igbo politicians and the Ohaneze and Igbo. Last week, you heard the agent provocateur announcing sit at home. You heard him talking about sit at home, and after talking about sit at home, there was a meeting held by Ohaneze and some southeastern region leadership, which they actually had a resolution, and the resolution is all about militarization of Biafra land. And this militarization of Biafra land, it is something that is going to bring about the killing of our people. You heard them talking about releasing Nnamdi Kanu. We are begging Buhari, Tinubu to release Nnamdi Kanu. We are begging. Shame on all of these people. Shame on all of them. You see the reason why each time I come online, when I see them talking all this rubbish, I don't buy those stories. I don't buy them. When they start saying releasing Nnamdi Kanu, this and that, I told you always check the timing. It is confirmed that every insecurity in Nigeria is being orchestrated by the politicians Every insecurity in Biafra land is being orchestrated by the Fulani stooges who you call your leaders. And that is the reason why they cannot do anything about it. When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was there, our people were safe. Our people were safe. At least our people were happy that they have somebody who speaks on their behalf. Our people were actually, free to move. But today, our people are not even free to go to their various businesses. And when all these shenanigans started, I told you that they want to invade Biafra land. Even though I didn't know how, but I know that the plan is to invade Biafra land. But of course, the reason why they start with economic sabotage against people individually, they started it in Lagos during the election campaign. They made sure that they intimidated Biafran people in Lagos. They brought down their businesses, the business premises, and they actually assaulted those that they assaulted in the name that Lagos is a no man's land, even though they were the people who actually made mention of such statement in order to use it against the Biafran people in Lagos. But the most important thing that you need to understand is that we know all their drama, we know all their moves, we know everything that they are planning against our people. They want to economically cripple us so that when they come, we will not have anything to defend ourselves, so that we will not have anything to move. We will be at their mercy. That is exactly what they are planning to do with us. That's why they are using the agent provocateur to actually stir up the dust. That is the reason why they are using him to provoke and give them a reason to come in. Now you will understand that the resolution that these Eastern leaders, I don't even know whom they are leading, because there are no leaders in the Eastern region. It is all about gangs of people who are looking for their own selfish aggrandizement. If it doesn't favor them, it will never favor any other person. That is about it. They actually took out their money to go and rendition Mazi Nnamdi Kanu with the help of Britain. After renditioning of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they are coming here like hypocrite, telling us, release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We are begging you, Buhari, release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You are begging him. Tinubu, release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You are begging him for what? Are you not part of Nigeria? Are you not a leader in Nigeria? Why should you beg him? Is he a court that set him free? The previous administration said that the case is in the court, that let the court decide. The court decided. The imposter in Aso Rock, which was impersonating the dead Buhari, decided that he will abandon him there because the judiciary is like a toothless, bulldog. They just talk, they just issue, authority. No one is actually adhering to them. And the same snake that is biting Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is actually now shocking other Biafrans who are still in denial of whom they are, such as Emefele. They are still in the denial of what they are. Emefele, have you now seen what is going on around him? He is placed in a DSS custody and they threw away the key. Even people, civil organizations, human rights, lawyers or activists are calling for him to be charged to court. or release him, because he is Biafran. Forget about the activities with the EFCC, ex-EFCC chairman. That one is just to use them as a camouflage. He is a boy to Attorney General Malami. So we know their games, we know when they are operating it accordingly. So when you see what is going on right now, you will see that it is an eye-opening. It is an eye-opener. What exactly you see happening in Nigeria, it is opening the eyes of everyone. Now, the civic right, the civic right movement have now rose up to call Nigerians to rise up to defend themselves, to call Nigeria to rise up and to take back what is rightfully theirs. It is the same thing that we've been preaching over the years. It is the same thing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been saying over the years. Because those people who are forcing themselves to be your leaders, they are forcing it because they want to take something that doesn't belong to them. Something that belongs to the nation, they want to have it for themselves. That is exactly what is happening. That's why you can never have a representative, both from your senators, from your house, from your senators to your from your governors, your senators, your chairman, your councillors. None of them is representing you. All of them are representing their families and their pocket. All their family members are in abroad, studying, living a cozy lifestyle. All of their family members, they are not in Nigeria where there is insecurity. They are living 5-star life in abroad. Why would a government official who has the duty to make the nation great, to provide infrastructure that is going to be conducive for them and everybody, including their children, they send their children abroad where infrastructure are placed in order by another human being? What they could not do. Their children and their family members are enjoying in all those things. But you and I are actually chasing after shadow. You and I are suffering all over the place. Yet you call them your leader. Tomorrow when they come up, they give you 1 bag of rice. You capitulate. You will say, let's try him for another 4 years to 8 years. Just like you have seen so many of them. The same people who cannot represent you, the same people who cannot speak for you in the upper echelon, they will never speak for you. They only speak for themselves. That is the reason why you find Ohaneze, you find your governors, those who knows how to play hypocrite. They are begging Tinubu to release Nnamdi Kanu, as if Nnamdi Kanu is being held by Tinubu. Instead of telling the DSS and their cohort to obey the court order, instead of calling on Malami to obey the court order, instead of telling Tinubu to command these people to obey the court order, not to do us a favor, because he cannot do us a favor. The court did all that is needed to be done by declaring Mazi Nnamdi Kanu a free man. If you are begging Buhari to release Tinubu to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that simply means there is no judiciary in Nigeria. And when you say there is no judiciary in Nigeria, because the president who believe they have a personal vendetta against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that president is gone. The president is gone. So Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is supposed to be released because the president who even ordered the stay of execution or applied the stay of execution is gone. So basically, the stay of execution is actually null and void. So I don't see any reason why anybody in their right mind will be calling Tinubu, begging him to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He should order them to obey their court order. Order the DSS to obey the court order. Because you are not, why are you looking for amnesty for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Did he commit any crime? You grant amnesty to criminals. You don't grant amnesty to innocent people. You don't grant amnesty to people whom court has discharged and acquitted. They are only calling for amnesty for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu so that they will control his narrative, so that he will not be able to, preach for the freedom of his people, so that he will not be able to open the eyes of the people to see exactly what is happening. That is the reason why they are calling for amnesty. Tinubu, please release Nnamdi Kanu. It will do this, it will do that. Instead of telling them to withdraw their manipulation towards the justice system. If you believe in justice system, you will not be begging Tinubu to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And the same justice system is what they are using to waste your time in the name that they are fighting for obedient mandate, which I have told you that the next place they are waiting for. You will now see the reason why Tinubu did not make any reshuffling towards the judiciary. Everybody is still in place. And of course, you know that Tinubu's money was almost finished during the election because of what he used money to buy himself into the position where he is sitting today. His money is almost finished. That's why he moved swiftly to collect that loan from World Bank. 800 plus million dollars. And in collection of such loan, you will discover that this loan they collected in the name they are giving you palliative. When the petrol is sold at 700 naira per liter. Petrol. So is he giving you palliative for what? I believe it was sold 600. Now it's sold 700 per liter. To give you palliative. Now, guess what? The money that he is claiming that he wants to use to give you palliative, where is that money now? They are sharing it among themselves. They are sharing it amongst themselves. And I am going to show you the same money they want to give you in your bank account. They are sharing it. Do you know the reason why Tinubu went for that loan? Tinubu went for that loan because he has to bribe the judiciary for the sake of going to Supreme Court, because he knows that the election tribunal is not going to, work in his favor, because the evidence there is very, very, clear. From the Vice President Shetima running for double office, Senate President, and running for Vice President. That is a crime on one side. Not winning 25% of federal capital, according to the Constitution. That is also a problem on one side. Evidence that has election irregularities, European Union's testimonies, those are indicting to these people. That is exactly the big problem in the APC today. You have seen people resigning from APC because there is a big problem inside APC. Even so many people who rush into APC and start running their mouth. Some of them are regretting it, even though they will not actually show it, because they have disgraced themselves to the highest order. People in the likes of Femi Fani-Kayode. Their disappointment is still, is still coming. Their disappointment, it is still coming. Now, I want you to know that $800 and something million borrowed by Tinubu, it is all about trying to use it to maneuver this Supreme Court that is upcoming. He is dishing it out everywhere. That is the reason why you will understand that Nigeria will never move forward. When people use their money to buy position to power, when people are sworn in, even though when they didn't win the election, they tell you it is according to the constitution or according to the traditions of Nigeria that they have to be sworn in. Then you go to tribunal. You declare a person who did not win an election and you swore them in so that they will have opportunity to maneuver things, take loans in order to cover up what they have lost during the time, in case even if they are not there. That is exactly the plan of these people. At the end of the day, he took loan. Let us find out what he was using these loans to do. Let us hear it. Exactly. Because this is exactly a call that when you see them, you will understand that there is a fire on the mountain. There is a problem. Let us see this video. Many media channels has it.
James is also one of us.
And now, Comrade Shima Bani, Comrade Anselm, Dureke, there are very many, a long list of our comrades that have fallen, and we want to observe a minute silence to respect them. A minute silence, please. Ex-convicts parading at the presidential villa with the sinister agenda to determine the fate of Nigerians with the purpose of derailing democracy. We titled this statement, "Beware of regrouping of corrupt politicians in Aso Rock. CLO warns Tinubu." Gentlemen of the press, on behalf of the board and members of the Civil Liberties Organization, CLO, welcome you to this press conference. We are all witnesses to how Nigeria, our very dear country, which holds so much promises, as a global leader at independence on October 1, 1960, has been destroyed by successive leaders. The founding fathers of Nigeria from the north and south had great dreams, and they patriotically laid good foundation for a great country. The military forcefully took over power through a number of coups d'etats and began the process of the neutralization of Nigeria. Through determination and spilling of the blood of innocent citizens, the civil societies, the media, and other patriotic Nigerians were able to chase the military out of power, culminating in the historic return to civilian rule in 1999. However, within 24 years between then and now, the political class parading themselves as civilian leaders have brought the country to her knees through massive corruption and stealing of our common patrimony.
Did you hear that?
Nigeria is now officially rated as the poverty capital of the world.
Of course.
One of the most corrupt countries.
Okay. Nigeria has been rated the poverty capital of the world, one of the most corrupt countries in the world. I want you to hear the countries that even denies once they see green. Once they see green, once they see green as a passport, they deny you visa. Listen to this man for you to understand exactly what is going on. You are heading down to your doom every day by day. Those of you championing one Nigeria, where are you? Where are you? Because one day you will open that your mouth that you are using to champion one Nigeria to actually confess that one Nigeria is a scam. You will open the mouth to say that it is a scam. You will say it one day, and the heaven will not fall. That is where you are heading. All of you who have said that what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was fighting for is not just. You will confess and you will fight for it one day. Maybe by that time it might be too late for you, because that is the reason why the wise man said, make a hair while the sun is still shining. Listen and continue so that you will understand how you are actually, rejected in the whole world for the sake of being a green, a Nigeria, a Royal Niger company, a company of Britain. Listen.
A safe haven for bandits and terrorists, a country with so much oil and gas resources but imports fuel, 4 moribund and dead refineries that got billions of dollars in turnaround maintenance, which is a conduit pipe for stealing public funds by every new government. Nigeria is now a comfortable environment and destination for all manners of criminal enterprise to thrive.
Mm-hmm.
The implication of poor and inept management of the country is supported by the recent report by the Debt Management Office, which disclosed that Nigeria's total foreign debt for the period ending March 31st, 2023, just recently, has risen to 49.85 trillion naira. That's approximately
49.80 something trillion naira. All this while I come here, I tell you that Nigeria accumulated debt. Nigeria accumulated debt is more than $100 billion. It's more than $100 billion. You will think Judge Money is just talking things that he doesn't know. That is the accumulated debt right now. Who is going to pay this debt? This is going to be a generational debt, which means these people you are owing, you will never ever grow economically until you are done servicing this debt, because these people, they have monopoly against you. They have authority over you. Don't forget what I always say. Blessed is the hand that giveth than he that taketh. Because he that giveth is actually gaining autonomy over you. He that taketh is now losing their authority, enslaving themselves, bringing themselves down. That is exactly what they are doing with you in Nigeria. When are you going to wake up? Only when it gets worse, that you won't be able to fix it. Because that is the problem of a black man. You want it to get so worse. You want it to become like Somalia before you wake up to do the right thing. That's exactly what is going on in Nigeria, because people who live in Nigeria are very, very myopic. Very, very myopic. They cannot see the truth and speak it the way it is. They always want to be politically correct. Politics, they don't know. Or they tell you you must be diplomatic correct. Diplomacy they don't have. These are the people. Each and every time they will tell you IPOB becomes the problem of Nigeria. Nnamdi Kanu is the problem of Nigeria. Is Nnamdi Kanu the problem that this man is now crying and complaining about? There are more things that he has to say. If you pay attention, you will hear and you will understand that Nigeria, you can never fix it. You can never fix it except you that is on the receiving end, because they have enslaved you by their activities, by the decision, by the policies that they have made. The policies that take away your life. The policies that deprive you of right to life. They have taken it away. And you have the right to rise up to actually take it back. Defend yourself. You have that right because you are a black man. You don't know what is your right and what is not your right. Anywhere you go, try to understand what is within the ambit of the law that governs your right. Let's continue. Listen very attentively to this man so that nobody will trample upon or topple upon your right, regardless of whom that person is. Make sure you know the law of where you are. If you know the law and understand it very well, people will not just intimidate you, especially the law enforcers. Regardless of what type of law enforcement is that, except if they want to go off the book. That is because you don't know your right. You don't know the law. You don't know what is going on. That is the reason why you allow this bunch of illiterates who forge their certificate, who forge their documents in order to obtain the leadership position, and you who spend all your life in income or the life in money of your parents going to school to become professional, then you find bunch of illiterates who becomes your leader because they were smart enough to forge their documents. They were smart enough to to bribe their way into the leadership position. And you that is supposed to be the leaders of tomorrow, now you become the beggars of tomorrow. You become the poverty of tomorrow. You become the predicament of tomorrow. You become the life in infamy of tomorrow. They bequeath you a life in infamy. These old people, very soon these old people, they diminish. They will no longer be there. But they have destroyed the future that they will not be part of. Why do you allow them? Because you are lame. Because you are blind. Because you are actually so scared of life. That's why the scripture say, those who are scared to lose their life will eventually lose it. But those who actually, if you try to protect your life, like that's where he says, if you try to protect your life, those who are fighting to protect their life lose it. But those who is actually rising up to do what is right, they will live long. I might not quote that scripture verbatim, but I believe you will understand it. Because you are so scared. If I speak, they will kill me. Or if I speak, they will jail me. Or if I do something, if I come out to protest, they will kill me. If we come out to protest, they will tell. Of course, when you come out, they create a faction, and that faction will criminalize your protest, and they will use it to destroy the protest. Or you start doing ethnicity division. You are Igbo, you are Yoruba, no, you are Fulani, you are protesting in our land. Why don't you go to your land and do this protest? You can never ever be productive or move forward because you are a company that British created for their own profit. Never for your own profit. They are using those illiterates that you call your leaderships. Those who are your leaders, they are leading you like sheep. And you are moving like a sheep without a shepherd, because they can never be a shepherd, which they call themselves. These are self-acclaimed. And when you self-acclaim yourself, you will never do it right, because you proclaim it upon yourself. You took it by force. You will never do it right. In Africa, it is all about who will be the president, who will be the leader. Is it going to come from my side? Is it going to come from Fulani? Is it going to come from Hausa? Is it going to come from Yoruba? Is it going to come from Igbo? Who is going to be? It is all about Nkemu Azuna. How do you think you are going to thrive? You will never thrive. So the best thing is for you to go. Since you love your own people to become president, go and be with your own people. Be your president. Since we love our own people to be the president, we go and be our own self, become our president. The same applicable to other nationalities that was jammed together in Nigeria in the name of amalgamation of 1914. You go and govern yourself. Do that thing that you have to do for yourself, so that people will know who is the problem. Because whenever we are actually here shouting on top of our voice, so many of you will say, nah, these people, you don't have you want our call, you don't have anything to do. Yeah, we don't have our call. This is our call, because it is talking about the future of our children. It is talking about the future of our children, which all of you who are destroying it will not be part of it. Because so many of you are headed to your grave. Some of you are using football age, even though you are close, you are a step away from your, to your grave. Because you are very old, acting to be 60 and 63. We know. When you see old people who are supposed to be, be a mirror that people are looking up to. All our lives, we were told to respect our elders, because we all our lives we were told that the elders will always do something right, that the elders is always right, but only to discover that these elders, they have been wrong all this while. They are always wrong, and they will always be wrong. And the worst of them all is that they are ignorant of the fact that they are wrong. Because where there is wrong, they see good. Where there is good, they see wrong. That's why they will never, integrate you into a growing society. They will never change your situation. Rather, they will worsen it. Because where there is a way, they see a barricade. Where there is a barricade, they see a way, and they get stuck. Blind are leaded the blind. They will only lead you into the ditch. And that is what these people are doing. And that's where they are leading you. Pay attention while you count your blessings and name them one after another, because this man said a lot here.
Approximately $108.30 billion from 46.26 trillion naira as at December 21st, 2022. Amidst these humiliating setbacks, the civilian rulers of Nigeria have perfected the act of impunity, where they regard the military-imposed constitution as a mere document that can only be obeyed by the poor. The CLO,
a mere document that can only be obeyed by the poor. By the poor. A mere document only obeyed by the poor. Then these few individuals, less than 100,000 people, or like saying, if I say 100,000 people, they are too much. Less than 10,000 people, or less than 5,000 people, less than 5,000 people. They are exempt from this, constitution. They cannot work according to the constitution. They are above the law. They are above the law. But where those people who actually colonized you came from, where these people who control you came from, nobody is above the law. You saw how Boris Johnson was taken out of office. They did not even they just chased him away from the office. But in Nigeria now, somebody rigged an election and went into the position of leadership. And people are begging him. People are begging him to maneuver the order of the court and grant amnesty. Do you know exactly what they are doing? They are nullifying the existence of the judiciary. Because it is not about you. I don't care bụ onye olutebero. Eburu onye ozu onye ọzọ dịka evuku nkụ. But you don't know that what goes around comes around. As you are undermining and nullifying the activities of the judiciary because of the evil and dirty politics that you are playing, one day it is going to come to you. If not soon enough, then you will understand. Just as it has come to Emefele. And we are coming there. Continue to listen. It is these few individuals. They are exempt from the, from the law. They can, law is not applicable to them. Law is not applicable to them. It is only applicable to ordinary people, majority of those people that they see as their fools, their children. Remember that children obey your parents. Don't speak back at your parents. Respect your parents. Respect them. That respect you teach them without making them understand what respect is all about. That is as a result of what is going on today. It is very important for children to know, to be taught respect. Don't get me wrong, but teach them exactly what respect is all about. Respect is something that you earn. You earn respect. Because that is exactly sometimes you find people exploiting children because they were taught on how to respect their elders. When they start touching them inappropriately, we are respecting our elders, you leave them until they go deeper. Before you know it, they have destroyed your child. Your children are being destroyed because they have to have respect for the elders. Because you didn't teach them what respect is actually, is exactly, exactly mean. You didn't teach them. That's why they will give in, because he's an elder. My mother said we should respect our elder without you knowing what type of elder you need to respect. That's why you find pedophile taking advantage of children. Maybe so many times you don't even hear it in the media, because media and there is no journalism, investigative journalism that is on the ground working and seeing all these challenges communities and people are facing. They will not bring it to you for you to be educated on those. And that is the reason why we are here, to continue to educate you. Respect is reciprocal. In this modern age, respect is earned. You cannot just wake up and start dishing out respect. Even to the people who want to kill you, you start dishing out respect to them.
Is appalled by the recent development in the country, where in June, a former governor of Delta State, indicted for corruption, led Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State and former Governor Nyesom Wike of Rivers State to visit President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in Aso Rock presidential villa. Ibori, a member of the People's Democratic Party,
Birds of the same feather.
Tinubu was governor, of Lagos State between 1999 and 2007.
Birth of the same feather.
And on July 12, former Governor Lucky Igbeneghu of Edo State, who was also indicted for corruption but took advantage of a plea bargain to escape jail, was among more than 20 former governors, including Ibori, who visited Tinubu at the presidential villa. Apart from the few good ones among them, many of these governors who hid under an amorphous Nnamdi Kanu class of 99 were notorious for setting the template for the massive corruption in the country by fleecing their states and stashing the looted funds in foreign bank accounts.
Okay.
While briefing journalists on behalf of the class of 99, Igbeneghu has said the visit was to assure Mr. Tinubu of their support and cooperation. According to him, we met the president as a colleague governor that laid the foundation of the current democracy in Nigeria in 1999, which has continued to be strengthened up to today. Igbeneghu claimed that they went to congratulate Tinubu on his election and to thank him for appointing one of them, George Akume, as the secretary to the government of the federation.
Lootouts.
He further claimed that they spoke about security, electricity supply to Nigerians, which they said were key factors in the development of any economy, with Mr. Tinubu assuring them of the administration's preparedness to tackle the issues headlong. But like many Nigerians, we in the CLO are not deceived by the regrouping of these former governors who are now shedding crocodile tears over the state of anarchy in the country. They had 8 years in office and some of them went to the Senate. What did they do? They continued in their old ways. And what manner of support would they be giving to Tinubu beyond an arrangement to accommodate them in the underdevelopment of the country? The case of James Onanefere-Ibori, a former governor of Delta State from 1999 to 2007, is more rankling. He is officially the only former governor who was jailed in a foreign country. He was in 2012 sentenced to 13 years in prison for money laundering by a court in the United Kingdom. Ibori fled Nigeria in April 2010 while answering to corruption charges, forcing the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to enlist the help of the Interpol to apprehend him in Dubai, United Arab Emirates, and extradited him to the UK, where a case of massive corruption and money laundering had built up against him. He served only 4 years out of the 13-year sentence handed by the UK court and was released from jail in 2016. A very powerful politician, Ibori is said to have stolen more than $78.5 million of Delta State public funds and partly funded the election of the late Umar Yar'Adua as president of Nigeria in 2007. Ibori's influence in the Niger Delta and indeed Nigeria in general is said to still be strong, as persons seeking elective offices consult him for support as a result of his political networks and the depth of his pocket, courtesy of ill-gotten wealth. He was recently appointed as a patron of former Governors Forum in Nigeria, a position he now leverages to curry personal favors and manipulates political power in Nigeria. The CLO is urging Nigerians to keep vigil over our hard-won democracy.
Did you hear that?
Regular visits and hobnobbing of the former governors and corrupt politicians with Tinubu at the seat of power is a clear and present danger to efforts to rebuild our battered country.
To rebuild.
We appeal to President Tinubu, whose election is being seriously challenged at the Election Petitions Court, to not convert the highest office of President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria into a rehabilitation center for politicians who put the country in this sorry state. Indeed, most Nigerians would question the propriety of President Tinubu parading Ibori and other criminal politicians as good men at the highest seat of power in the country. The CLO, which led from the front in our collective quest and struggle for a just society where citizens should be proud to call themselves Nigerians, is now drawing local and international attention to the regrouping of these questionable individuals who are mobilizing and are poised to determine the future of the country in accordance with their sordid standard and definition. Impoverished Nigerians who are currently reeling in pains and anguish from the so-called subsidy removal, multiple taxation, hike in electricity tariff,
Interesting.
and other forms of neo-colonial slavery as a direct consequence of corruption must now quickly wake up from their slumber to find their lost voices.
Their lost voices.
Collectively, Nigerians say no to blood-sucking groups of vampires
Okay.
who have left our wealthy country in ruins and transformed it into a vast killing field of innocent citizens.
All right.
We call on all Nigerians to organize and mobilize
Okay.
to take back their country.
Organize and mobilize.
Eternal vigilance is the price of liberty. Thank you for coming as we count on the media as our long-standing partners to join us in this long walk.
Okay.
Gentlemen of the press, as we were coming here this morning to address this press conference, that is why you don't find it as part of this statement. This inept, corruption-infested government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu has again increased fuel prices to 700 naira. Officially, at the NNPC pump price, it is 617 naira.
Unfortunately, let me see. I think this one is not complete from this side. Let me, because there were other things that they said here. Just one moment. Let me show you the complete one of the video.
The truth is, if this morning we can find 500 Nigerians who will go to the gate of the National Assembly and sit down on the floor.
Listen.
And nobody's going to we
Pay
have
attention.
a duty as a human rights organization. We don't just say we are a civil society organization. We are a human rights organization. And the right to life is inherent, is inalienable, is given by God.
The right to life is inherent, is inalienable. It's inalienable. It is given to God, by God. The right to life. Have you now seen the reason why we are telling you, if the Igbo politicians, if the Ohaneze and the Igbo decide to militarize the land of Biafra, it has a serious consequences, because we will go after them. We will go after their children. We will go after their family members. They will feel what it looks like it feels like to lose a loved ones. They will understand the true meaning of the right to life. Because when they are, when they just wake up and they go to their meeting believing few people oppressing millions of people, believing that one day that change will not occur, let them bring that state of emergency in Biafra land if they have the capacity. There is something happening in the northern state of Nigeria. People are being killed on a daily basis. People are being killed on a daily basis. There is a video I saw, of what is happening in the northern Nigeria. That video gave me goosebumps. The video gave me goosebumps. Let me show you. Let me see if I will see that video quickly so that I will share it with you. Before we continue what we're doing here, my battery is dying. If it dies before I see the video, then we will play it some other day. But this is horrible. It is indeed horrible. It is a video of what is happening in the north. We have seen so many of them. So many of the videos is not what I can bring to the media. But the one I want to show you, it is another one that is. Then you will pity the people of the north. You will pity exactly what's going on in the north. Then you will spit in the face of all these politicians who call themselves Northern Coalition Group and Northern Representative. You will see how evil these people are. They will never represent themselves. They will never protect their people. All they do, it is all about the money. It is all about the money that makes the world change. These people are evil. Evil of the highest order. If I can pick up that video, then you will ask yourself, those who are calling, they want to declare state of emergency in Biafra land. If they have military to declare state of emergency, you should be asking them, why are they not where all these shenanigans are taking place in the north, in the eastern Nigeria, in Biafra land? Declare state of emergency. Every little thing, we will declare state of emergency. Otherwise, I was going to make it available. It's inalienable. Once they take it, it is over for you.
So when government push policies that seems
Policies that will seem to push policies, declare state of emergency. Those military they will use to militarize our land, they also bleed. They also bleed. You will use everything at your disposal. You will also go to their houses, all these Ohanese and all these Igbo governors. That is the only way. Otherwise, if you want to remain and say we are holy people, we don't want problem. When they declare state of emergency, that is when you will tell yourself you don't want peace. You give them the problem that they want. Because they will kill you. They will destroy homes. They will burn down buildings. That is exactly the reason why they have established agent provocateur. They provoke. Give them the line to come in. And when they come in, all him and his criminals, they will run into their cocoons. You will never see them anymore. You will not see them anymore. The military will start killing innocent people. At the end of the day, they will have IPOB. They will say it is IPOB. News will be carrying it due to IPOB crimes in Biafra land. There is a declaration of state of emergency. So military are now moved into Biafra land. Militaries are the ones controlling Biafra land. There is curfew, there is this, there is that. At the end of the day, you have no life, no more. But it is up to you to decide your faith. No one has right to actually take your life. If they put a policy that is capable of bringing your life to extinction, you have the right to actually defend yourself. You have the right to actually retaliate. As long as you are retaliating to protect yourself, it is within your right. It is a right given to you within the ambit of the law, because it is called a right to life. Pay attention.
It's within the ambits of the law for you to to resist using every legal means at your disposal. The truth is, if this morning we can find 500 Nigerians who will go to the gate of the National Assembly and sit down on the floor, that nobody's going to come out and go out. Even if you shoot and kill, they will be tired of killing.
Okay.
We all know what happened at the Tiananmen Square in China.
Revolution.
In 1989 or so, where the Chinese army, the People's Army of China, were using armored car to crush the Chinese who embarked on peaceful protests. It is on record that they crushed 50,000 Chinese. And that was what brought about the Chinese, the quote and unquote, the My Chinese Revolution that have brought China today as a world power.
Okay.
So if people think you can sit back, you can relax.
You are outside, you are Igbo. You are Igbo. You can't protest in Lagos State. You go and protest in your land. How is he going to allow them to have revolution? Just like, some pieces of idiots that are in the comment section talking rubbish. Those are the people who are affiliated to APC. Because maybe there is a small money given to them right now. They believe that you don't go to Ifen Lacha Siami. Only isi Lacha Chutala Ozota Anoku. That is something. When a blind man finish eating the fruit that he picked up with his leg, or he felt with his leg and pick it up, when he is done eating it, he will now go back to start feeling, to see if they will find another. They are blind. There is no certainty that they will find another. It is by accident that they touched that one, they felt that one with their feet, and they picked it up. It might be difficult to find another. It might be even sometimes impossible to find another when that one is finished. That is those who are affiliated to those ruling party. They believe that what I am saying right here is a rubbish because I am speaking to them. By the time it will come, maybe you will no longer have any place. You know one thing about these people? These people, black people, are very, very ignorant set of people. That is the problem they have. I can see so many people who has been pouring insult on me, supporting agent provocateurs. They are now, I have all their pictures. And I can see them now. They come online. They are now, they have realized that there is no road in following the agent provocateur. They have found their way to the truth. They are now pretending as if they've been there. When they come online, they will start telling you, Jisike, take it, carry on. You are doing a wonderful job. We know all of them. But the happiness there is that they have realized their mistakes. They realize it on time. But you that has, you are ignorant of, the fact that you need to wake up and realize your mistake. Because this petty mistake, because of small money they have given you, you capitulate. You are like a dog. You will never get enough. Dogs will never get enough. You will continue to be looking for it. And I have never seen anybody that is being given little money to be in the media talking rubbish for the politicians whoever got rich about with it, because they give you according to your size. You are nobody. They give you small. Only thing they will be servicing your hunger for data. They will be servicing your hunger for influence. They will be servicing your hunger for driving a car. You will never get rich. Driving a car does not make you a rich person. If driving cars make people rich, many people are rich. But believe you me, these people are destroying your lives and your destiny and your future right in front of you. You are still young. All you do is you come in comment section of Judge Money, you start insulting Judge Money, because Judge Money is speaking the truth. That truth that I'm speaking is going to come back to haunt you when the time is right. The problem you will have is that when you finally find the truth, you will never come to say, Judge Money, I'm sorry for insulting you. I don't need it. All I need is for you to come around and see the reality of life. It is not about what you are looking for today. Because the difference between a black man and an European is that the European is planning for future. A black man is planning for now. What is it? Bring it. Let us finish it now. Even if a black man want to plan, they are planning for their own family only. They are not planning for community. They are not planning for community because they don't realize that if you are safe, if you are rich, and your community is poor, you are not safe inside that community. Because they are poor. They can be bribed by your enemy to kill you. They can be bribed by your enemy to be intel against you. But when all of them are rich, everyone is safe. Because everyone can afford anything they want to do. No one will come and bribe them just like that to kill you. Because everyone is safe. That is what black people does not understand. We want to be that mighty tree in a very big forest. One mighty tree in a very big forest. To continue to intimidate other small trees. Small time we will release one of our branches. It will destroy the small tree that is about to grow up. We will, without you knowing that one day, those small trees, they will gather against you. And when they gather against you, they eat you from the root. They will eat you from the root. And until you are destroyed. This is what a black man needs to realize. It is not about today. It is not about now. It is not about your 100 years lifespan. Because most of us, if we live too much long, we live 110 years. It is not about your 110 years lifespan. It is about your coming generation. What have you built for them? Because whatever you establish today for them, it is what you are going to reap in your upcoming life. Because that is the reason why. Do you think God is stupid when he tell you that he will visit the fourth and the third generation with the sins of their father? Because their father is the one coming back to face their sins. You can never escape it. Regardless of how you think you are clever or smart, you will never escape it. All these evil people you see, politicians are using them. They will come and hang as if they are with you in your struggle. All of them, they will reap what they sow. And it will not take long before they reap what they sow. Let us listen to what this guys, let us finalize what this man is saying. So, because we have...
And use your small salary to be adjusting. The scale, you adjust so that the scale itself will go to the gate of the National Assembly and sit down on the floor. That nobody's going to come out and go out. Even if you shoot and kill, they will be tired of killing. We all know what happened at the Tiananmen Square in China in 1989 or so, where the Chinese army, the People's Army of China, were using armored car to crush the Chinese who embarked on peaceful protests. It is on record that they crushed 50,000 Chinese, and that was what brought about the Chinese, the quote and unquote, the My Chinese Revolution that have brought China.
A sacrifice must be paid.
So if people think you can sit back, you can relax, and use your small salary to be adjusting. The scale, you adjust so that the scale itself will overshoot.
Okay, correct.
I think we are now at that point in time.
And that is the kind of message we will be passing out. Somebody cannot be giving you peanuts, then you sell your birthright for a pot of soup. God will help us.
During the struggle against the military rule, the radical student movement was there. It was not only the civil rights organizations. The radical labor movement was there. The radical media was there. This man was one of the editors in the Insider Weekly. You saw what happened at Oba when they invaded the office and got all of them and imprisoned them. The same thing with him. He was a consistent visitor to the prisons and detention camps. In Enugu, I was arrested at the Adoration Center, where I went to share anti-Abacha leaflets. Lectured and handcuffed and kept in detention for 33 days. The day Abacha died was the day he gave instruction to us for us to be brought to Abuja. Dr. Tomanko, Professor Denta Udenta, Lex Hayatolumo, the PA to late Nahoro, and Barrister.
Kept in detention for 33 days. During the time of Abacha, this injustice has been in play. People will be taken into custody, kept in detention for 33 days. And that injustice still remains. No one cared to actually come up or injustice. No one. Absolutely nobody. It will continue because people are lame. People are so scared that at the end of the day, they will continue to, die in the ignorance of the fact that they will be able that has befallen them. They will continue to die. But the most important thing that you need to understand as a human being, that the only thing that is constant in life is change. And that change is the only thing that if you make a move to do, you will find yourself out of this mess that you have placed yourself into. Because your parents, they will say, no, don't go out there. There is a protest. Don't go before they shoot you a stray bullet. Don't go. When the time comes, that your child will be the first to die. If you are so scared to lose if you are protecting your life because you are scared to lose it, you will end up losing it. That is exactly the way it is. It is high time our people learn how to be resolute. It's high time our people learn how to be resilient and fight those few individuals who are kept in the position of power and they are intimidating you, believing that it is their right. But we will use those in Biafra land as an example. When they bring military, this army of conquest, to actually intimidate and kill our people because they believe no one will stand for them, that is when they will know. They will not have peace. Even if they run to abroad, we will chase them from Europe to America. We will chase them. That is the way it is. Because it is important for us to know that when somebody want to destroy your life, you have every right to do anything to defend your life, because it is what.
13, a video of the boys.
Listen to see the atrocities of this law enforcement in Nigeria. Listen to see. It is this news. There are other things I want you to hear from this.
Father crying out for help when the incident occurred went viral.
They have killed my family! They have killed my family! They have killed my daughter in the shop. NDLA, please, please. NDLA have killed my daughter with straight bullet because they want to do an arrest within the neighborhood. They shoot bullet. He came to meet my daughter and my son in the shop. Please, people should help me. I'm following them.
Do you know what this man is basically saying? This man is saying that this law enforcement, we are actually coming there to arrest somebody whom they claim, because this is a drug agency. They claim that there is they are drug peddlers or whatever, and the person was actually trying to escape. These law enforcers started shooting at the car of this so-called criminal. For you to understand that the people who are giving gun in Nigeria in the name of law enforcement does not even have competency to wield a firearm. That's why they started shooting sporadically inside an urban area. Inside an urban area, inside a community. They started shooting sporadically, only shooting at one criminal. Because they are looking for one criminal, they don't mind killing the whole community. For you to understand the incompetency of this law enforcement that they will always put there to protect you. These are supposed to be the protector of the people, not the killer of the people. Yet whenever you see it, they write police is your friend. You see the child that they ended the life. They plucked the life of this innocent child before it even began, in the name that they are chasing after a criminal. A criminal, you are having a vehicle. The criminal is running with their vehicle. Why can't you use your vehicle and follow the criminal while calling for a backup? Don't you have helicopter in case if the vehicle of the criminal is running and flying? Don't you have chopper? Don't you have backup? Then all they have to do is to pick up an arm, a firearm, and shoot sporadically to the extent of killing children. Killing one child, I believe, and hitting the other one in the face here. Hitting the other child in the face here. This is, and at the end of the day, you will not even find someone being prosecuted. It will be swept under the carpet because these people are above the law. And that is a pure evidence to show you that this law enforcement, who is actually giving them the competency to hold a firearm. Because if you have a competency to hold a firearm, there is no way you will be inside an urban area, inside a community where there are children playing, where there are people running. Only because you are chasing a criminal driving a vehicle, while you have your own police vehicle, instead of driving after the criminal, you start shooting at the criminal while they are trying to flee. Knowing that you do not hold a competency to hold a firearm, all these things, they bribe their ways into it. Because before you will even try to take such risk to shoot at a moving vehicle inside a community or inside an urban area where is a busy road, you must be a sniper. You must be you must be possessing a firearm competency that if you're targeting the tire, you are targeting knowing that you trust your measurement, you trust your aim, not you idiot that doesn't know even the value of life because they were given gun. They see themselves as supreme God. Otherwise, there is nobody ever. If they kill anybody, it doesn't matter. It is part of the duty. We are chasing after one criminal. So the life of one, to capture one criminal matters more than the life of the people that you are protecting from this criminal. You are protecting from this criminal. Nigeria, you need to rethink. You need to wake up. Because all these things, maybe this man that is crying now, shouting, maybe you will find out that one time he has been one Nigeria. He has been the people who are championing for one Nigeria. You might not know, but that is the reality of it. Now it has happened to him. Maybe if he lended hand to actually speak against this evil. This is in Biafra land, though. I believe it's in Delta State, where this incident took place. The innocent children paid. The innocent children paid for the sins that they haven't even committed. That is the way it is in Nigeria. Let's continue so that you will get the case for you to understand exactly what is now going on in this case. Because it took place last week, Thursday. Last week, Thursday. In 2 days' time now, it becomes a week when it took place. But today, listen to what the police, the law enforcement, and their bosses is saying. Listen.
And now, I'm following them. I'm following them. God, oh.
It's so sad. Well, during his visit, the Delta State governor commiserated with the family on the unfortunate demise of Ivan and promised that all efforts will be made to bring the culprits to book.
The Delta State government. This is in Delta State. It took place in Delta State, in Biafra land, where they will just come in and start shooting anyhow. Tomorrow, if you ask some Delta people, they are one Nigeria, where people's life does not matter. A law enforcement determines who live or who die inside a community that is made up of different people. A law enforcement determines who live and who die. This is a pure indication that those people, they give gun to come and kill you. They don't know how to handle the gun. They don't have what it takes to handle the gun. They're just holding it because it's a weapon. Whichever place they shoot it, whoever it touches, it dies. That is it. These are the type of people that are intimidating you. Incompetent set of people. Now I want you to know now, the reason why your police, your army, your Nidilia or Ndilia, whatever they call themselves, your civil defense, likewise even so many of them, does not have competency in the area of work that they do. It is because it started from the head. Milisinishibalu or Wadatana everywhere. It goes to every other branch. When it starts from the head, it touches every other branches. All these people, they forge everything that they present in order to be your leader. The same way, all these police, military, it is just born out of favoritism. They will be selected according to family. It's my family member. I am favoring him. I know him. He's my boy. Just recruit him into the police. Don't even take him to training. Don't even check whether he has competency. Recruit him, give him gun. He will learn by himself. He is a fast learner. That is exactly the way it is done. Then that person becomes a disaster. to people he's supposed to represent and protect, he becomes the person, the enemy to the same people. What a shame. What a shame. Our land, our lives matters. It is time, because you don't know whom is the next child the stray bullet is coming to hit. You don't know who is the next child the stray bullet is coming to hit. That's why you need to rise up. You need to wake up. Let us actually make sure we fight to defend the lands of the lives of our children. Because what we are fighting right here is not about us. It is about those children that just died. That's what we are fighting. It is about that child that just died. Because if we had things done right, that child will still be living. You don't know what that child will be tomorrow. Some of idiots will come and tell you God will give, God take, God has taken. Some of idiots will come and tell you God has given, God has taken. When there is no such, the decisions you make as a parent, the decisions you make as individual determines how long you are going to live. If you make a good decision, you live long. If you make the wrong decision, you live short. And it's quite unfortunate that some of the life of these innocent children, the decisions are in your hands. The ball is in your court. The shot is in your, is at your own side to call. Now you will be calling a wrong shot, shortening the lives of the children that you're supposed to be fighting at all costs to protect. That is the mistakes we are making. Because we are not the one who is going to pay for these silly mistakes we are making. It is those we are going to leave behind. The debt that Nigeria is accumulating, it is those that she is going to leave behind. Remember that those of you championing one Nigeria, that debt is for you. And we have called on IMF, World Bank, and all these places, Chinese, to stop giving these people loan. It is not going to stop us, because this, our self-determination, is mandated from heaven. Nothing will stop us from living Nigeria. Nothing. Nothing. We are already dying. We are already as good as dead. We are as good as dead in that same country called Nigeria. So there is nothing will stop us. Instead of us not to have freedom, we are as good as dead. Because it is a coward that will fold their arms like this when they know that if you fight, you die. If you keep quiet, you die. I'd rather fight and fall fighting. Instead of folding my arms, at least history will have it that I fought. I did what I had to do. I did my best. Even if it was not enough, I did it for the sake of the people I am going to leave behind. These are areas we need to always put at the back of our minds. These are the things that we need to always remember. Before you make that decision to collect small change from a politician, as a blogger, you collect change from politician. Ina rubbish. After talking rubbish, do you think that politician will ever make you rich? If they make you rich, who will they give change to defend them and so that to talk rubbish for them in the media? Who will they give money to talk rubbish for them in the media? They will always service you according to the work you are doing, media job. To promote their mediocrity. That is exactly what they will do. Will never make you rich. I know that politician. Highest you will use them to be threatening people around you, your friends. That is the highest thing you will do. Nothing else. Think before you accept. Because you might be accepting to sell your conscience. You might be accepting to destroy your future. You might be accepting to ruin your life. When they used to tell us, Ogwego, money ritual, you don't understand it works in different ways. You accept that money from politicians, ruin your future, ruin what you're supposed to build for your generation. You ruin it. You have used your generational, to do money ritual. Because you have eaten what, you are not supposed to eat. You have eaten your future now. You can't eat your cake and still have it. It is only a foolish man who expects that to happen. Let us continue to listen to this. I don't have time. I only have 10 minutes.
NDLEA authorities and police to investigate the case of what happened, what led to the incident, and bring the copy to the book. And we know that the security agencies are already doing that. We call the CP. The CP will soon be here now. Give more details, how far they have gone with their investigation.
This is a chilling story. I was heartbroken when I learned this story. It was too late for me to take because they were still doing an investigation there, which I don't really understand. What really occurred on Thursday was that the NDLEA officials were going on some sort of manhunt and they fired some stray bullets and the young boy died. I mean, this is so unfortunate. He even followed them to the office. They even engaged in some sort of, fisticuff or even, I don't understand. What I still don't understand is this is since Thursday last week, yes. And they're still talking about investigation. There is a clear video, Ayo. You saw those officials in the van.
Yes. So Mr. Femi Babafemi, the Director of Media and Advocacy of the NDLEA, took to Twitter to explain what happened last week, Thursday. Now, he said that they had gone for a raid in Okpanam area in Delta State. And when they got there, one of the guys was trying to make a way and ran over one of their men, and he was injured. That the man is, the officer is currently in hospital. So as they're trying to chase him and destabilize his vehicle by shooting at his tires, the stray bullet hit young Ivan and also...
What does that entails? That these people does not have what it takes to be a law enforcers. Because he hit into one of their men and their men got injured, they start shooting sporadically. Animals who were given guns, they were not checked properly if their brain is working in order. They didn't check their mental state to know if these people are worthy of holding a killing weapon. They didn't check those things, which those things are very important. And that is the reason why we are fighting to get our freedom, so that we will carve out our nation, we will establish our nations the way it is supposed to be, the way a nation is run. Before you will become a police officer, before you wield a firearm, regardless of how, the skill you have in catching thieves, before you will handle a firearm, you will go through a test to make sure that your brain is functional, to make sure you don't have bipolar disorder, to make sure you don't have any psychological problems, because this is what actually resolved to people killing people trigger happy. They are given a firearm, they are now trigger happy. They start shooting.
His younger brother, Emefele. Now, when this happened, you heard the father in that video who was clearly distressed, was also disorientated, was referring to his son as his daughter. But irrespective of what the NDLEA has said, Oji, you're very correct. This happened on Thursday, the 13th. Today is Tuesday, the 18th. And yes, kudos to the Delta State Governor, Governor Sheriff Oboreri, for going. But what we want is not just him going there and visiting the family, which is good, and promising to pay the bills, the hospital bills of Emefele. It is that justice has to be done, and it shouldn't take this long. If Mr. Babafemi can go onto Twitter to explain what happened, surely they know the men who went on that operation. They know. There were eyewitnesses to this as well. They know. We have footage already from these men. A simple investigation. What we don't want is for this to be buried. Look at the video. We can see, I mean, even though their faces are blurred, you have the plate number of that vehicle. You know the men who went out for that operation. Why is it so difficult to fish out the person who shot? Even if it was done in error or as a mistake, we've had a number of stories of stray bullets in Nigeria. This has to be investigated. They have to a investigation to find out if that use of force was necessary and why it had to be applied, and then justice for that young boy's life. We shouldn't keep quiet about this. The case of the lawyer in Lagos State who was shot by, I saw an update in the papers that
they have numbers of story of people who are hit by a stray bullet. Numbers of story.
The judgment will be served.
I don't care Bonyo Lutebaro. You don't know who it is going to be tomorrow.
In a few days. We need to follow up these stories till the very end.
Absolutely.
It shouldn't just make headlines when we lose a life, but what happens to those who perpetrated this?
About law and order, these people are there. There is no arrest made, and people are brandishing assault rifles. I mean, kudos to the Delta State governor. Before I come to you in the meantime, this is just as 60 human rights lawyers
because I have less
also queried why all the bandits brandishing military-grade weapons in videos have
Let's go to Emefele.
Ex-Niger Delta agitator Asari Dokubo, whose ex-Niger Delta agitator has also condemned Emefele's continued detention, stating that it is shameful that the DSS, which had failed to arrest ex-Niger Delta agitator Asari Dokubo, whose viral video trended where he brandished military assault rifles and threatened to bring fire and brimstone on a section of Nigeria, has not been arrested and charged for illegal possession of firearms, but instead is pressing charges against Emefele for alleged illegal possession of firearms. The group also queried why all the bandits brandishing military-grade weapons in videos have not been arrested.
They are charging Emefele now. It is not about Emefele now changing note for the people who are running for political office not to have access to cash to dish out to bribe people. Because that is exactly the reason why they have taken Emefele. He's a Biafran. And now they are now trying to charge him because they don't see anything that he committed. They say they found a firearm that he is using to defend himself. When there is too much firearm, even Asare Dokubo had a firearm that he used to threaten ethnic group in Nigeria, DSS did not go for him. DSS moved swiftly to go and pick up Emefele, claiming now that they found a firearm, Magnum, with live ammunitions in his home. Firearm, when they talk about Magnum, I believe it is this small pistol that you break here to push up this chrome Magnum. So this is the firearm they discover, but Boko Haram and bandits are brandishing. After Dokubo was brandishing AK-47, was brandishing AK-49, G3. No one called Asare Dokubo to arrest him. In the social media, but the Emefele now, they claim it is now firearm. No longer because he printed notes. Because it actually affected those who were dishing out money. They didn't have enough cash to dish out. That's why they got to arrest him. They didn't care about people who suffered that period of time. It is about their personal vendetta against Emefele. That is the reason why we are telling all these people to change their evil ways and know that Biafra is their last hope. They will never get anything out of Nigeria except if they support Biafra and except if we get Biafra. That is the way it is. There are many other things we're supposed to talk about, but my time is up. I'm going to be cut off now in the next seconds. Let me see if I will bring it back once it's cut off. If I can't get it back, I will not start a new program. We will call it a day because we have actually, achieved some stuff.
And prosecuted by the DSS, Dr. Abati.
Okay. I recommended The Peace by Onikepo Braithwaite.